Welcome to the Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces podcast. This is episode 51. I'm your co-host, Stephen Rothberg. I'm the founder of College Recruiter. We believe that every student and recent grad deserves a great career. We have a breaking news episode for you today, and it is not because winter has finally come to Minnesota or where my co-host Peter Zollman is temporarily located in Buffalo. Peter, want to introduce yourself?
I'm Peter Zollman of the AIM Group. We do business intelligence, consulting, and conferences for recruitment marketplaces and job boards. Alex has spoken at several of our conferences. So has Stephen. So has Stephen's better half, Faith. And I'm in Buffalo, New York today. Cold, dreary place. That's why I live in Orlando. But I'm at one of the most amazing hotels I've ever been at. When they built this about 150 years ago, and I don't know exactly when, it was an insane asylum, as they were called then. Thousands of people were placed here. When I went to college across the street in the 1970s, damn, I'm old. It was dreary, boarded up, vacant, and coming apart. And in the last 10 years or so, they are restoring and improving this campus, which was designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, one of the great architects, especially an architect of Delaware Park in Buffalo, Central Park in New York, much of Washington, D.C. And now we'll go to Munich.
and it's the Richardson Hotel.
The Richardson Hotel.
Not a sponsor, just totally impressed.
Just staggeringly beautiful. And now we'll go to Munich, where Alex is. Alex and some of his colleagues noticed this week that Google Jobs, no longer called Google for Jobs, Google Jobs is made a huge change. First of all, why don't you tell us what those changes? Oh, I should introduce Alex. He's an AI expert in recruitment. He has a couple of job boards that he operates. He does consulting with job boards, particularly in AI. And he's an all-around great speaker, great guy, and force in our industry. How's that, man? You really
awesome.
You were feeling bad this morning. Now to be described as a force in our industry, and I've burned 3 minutes. But
we talk much better about Alex than people who know him well. We'll just leave that there.
Anyway, so tell us about what Google Jobs is doing, has done. It's not universal, but tell us about it, and then we'll talk about it for a bit.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Well, on a very high level, I think that what they are trying to do with these new changes is to reduce the exposure of Google Jobs into the organic search results. And they do it by, first of all, taking the real estate off from the product. So when you now search for jobs, the area that Google Jobs takes is significantly smaller, right, than it used to be previously. Think about at least 40% smaller. But the major changes is that in Europe, for example, we have this thing on top of Google Jobs that says find similar jobs, and it links to job boards, right? So that was huge for branding reasons, and now this is gone. I think this is how Google Jobs actually looks by default in the US. So this is going away. There's no way to bookmark jobs, so this feature is completely killed. I did not find a way to bookmark a job. That's really sad. But the biggest issue so far is that there's no way to create a job alert anymore on Google Jobs, which is going to be quite devastating, because you're not going to send jobs to emails of millions of people anymore. They are gone. Full disclosure, this is not live yet, right? So I'm seeing it popping up in different European countries. I was able to reproduce it once in the US with a US VPN. It's not that rare anymore in the German, Austria, Switzerland area. It's fairly easy to reproduce it. Netherlands too, but it's not live yet. So there is some time
When it's not live yet, correct me if I'm wrong. I think what you're saying is it's not universal, right? Like
Yeah,
some
it's not
people
universal, exactly.
clearly they're doing A/B testing, which design, which format works, and sometimes Google has a history of testing something, finding out it's a failure, rolling it back. But if this is the way it is in the US, at least some of these changes, and now you're starting to see it in Europe, to me, that's a pretty big indicator of this is coming universally.
Yeah, by the way, Greg, our analyst in Louisville, spent some time banging on it yesterday, and he did not see these changes. So it's not universal in the US. It's still in rollout.
hmm Well, Google has usually these three stages of product releases. There's the closed alpha, where only invites have access to it. So in the case of Google Job Ads, we know who was invited first to test this. Then there's the beta rollout, where you start seeing it actually outside in the real product as a form of an A/B test. This is what we are seeing right now. And shortly afterwards, normally you have the launch. And I think it's just perfect timing that this is happening exactly before the planned launch of Google Job Ads, because it just makes sense. You want to reduce the traffic that you give away for free so that you can start charging people. And you need to make space for these new ads, right? Because the Google Job Ads, they will take some space and they need to get it from somewhere. You cannot like literally cover the whole search page. So you make the jobs real estate a little bit smaller, and then you have new space.
And the Google Job Ads that you're talking about, Alex, those are kind of like the product ads. If anybody's gone and done like shopping, like I want like show me the best vacuum cleaners or whatever that might be. You get the little tile or with the image of the product and its short little write up. Was it ZipRecruiter, Indeed, and I think LinkedIn were part of that initial one. I might be missing one, but those are going to be paid ads, right? The job boards, employers, whatever, will be able to pay Google for that placement, sponsored.
Exactly.
Interesting. What impact do you think these changes that I think it's likely, I think you're onto something that Google is rolling out, like the removal of the ability to bookmark, the removal of the job match alerts. What impact do you think this is going to have on big job boards and small job boards?
Hey, I'm Katie Van Horn.
And I'm Jackie Clayton.
We're your hosts of the Inclusive AF podcast, where we take on DEI, leadership, and HR without all the corporate fluff.
That's right. We've got decades of experience, a lot of opinions, and zero tolerance for performative anything.
Every week, we dig into what it really takes to build inclusive workplaces with honesty, strategy, and a few side eyes.
We'll talk about the tough stuff, power dynamics, privilege, what's broken in the system, and how we can all do better.
And don't worry, it's not all heavy. We bring receipts, laughs, and real talk from people actually doing the work.
Think of it as your weekly dose of truth, tips, and a little tea to help you lead with intention and show up for your people.
So if you're ready to push past the buzzwords and get into the actual work of inclusion,
you're in the right place. So subscribe to the Inclusive AF podcast.
New episodes drop every week.
Catch us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We'll be here breaking it down one inclusive convo at a time.
Well, depends on how much traffic you're getting from Google Jobs today anyway, right? So if you're not getting anything, doesn't matter to you. But if you spent a lot of time optimizing your Google Jobs strategy over the past few years and you have a good position, then I'm pretty confident that the amount of traffic that you get is going to go down. I mean, job alerts are probably a large amount of driver for this traffic, and they also killed all the filters, right? So there's no way to navigate and drill down into jobs anymore by category and by related job titles. This was a very nice feature. So activity is going to go down. There's no doubt about it. We can just speculate how much, but at least, I don't know, just a wild guess, at least 20%, we should see it.
One of the things I always wonder about is how serious do you think Google is about going after the whole recruitment / job advertising business? As people have asked me before, and to me, it seems even if Google got massively involved in the job board or the job advertising world, it would still be a flea on an elephant. If they took $1 billion of advertising revenue out of the job world, to them, that's chump change. So what do you think, since I've now expressed my opinion and yours is the one that counts here?
I don't know. Money is money. You guys come from the US, where the mecca of capitalism has been built over the years. I don't think that there is a good reason to skip on this money if you can just build it by rolling out a simple product that you already have the whole infrastructure for. It's literally a no-brainer for me, and it's just going to give them a lot of low risk, high return revenue, because there's very little that can go wrong there.
Cool. I think we've got time for one more question before we leave off. And I know Peter and I would really like to get your views, not just on Google Jobs, but also, without a doubt, you are one of the world's foremost experts on AI when it comes to recruitment marketing.
Thank you.
And you can pay me $20 later or buy me a free beer at one of the AIM Group's conferences. RecBuzz, April, Barcelona.
Thank you.
What do you see coming, let's say a year from now, briefly, what's going to be different? What will people really notice? And then 3 years from now in the job board recruitment marketplace world?
As a result of AI.
As a result of AI, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I think that job boards and essentially anyone who is delivering applicants is going to be hit a lot more often with questions around, do you know what the quality of these applicants is that you're sending us? Why are you sending us these people? They're not qualified. And this will be mostly driven by this whole AI application automation tools that are literally exploding. We had a new release on TechCrunch for someone who raised $4.5 million in a pre-seed round for building a CV customizer, with AI. Like, who needs that? But sure, let's do it. So there will be a lot of applications, immense amount of applications, and at some point, as a channel, you will be asked by your clients, where do you get us these job seekers from, and why do they have such bad quality, and what can you do to help us? And this is completely different than these discussions that we have about CPC and CPA today, because the job board never gets the feedback about the quality. This link is missing, right?
I'll tell you, and maybe this is just the space we're in, but we are starting to. We have a small but rapidly growing minority of clients, employers, other advertisers who are now starting to give us feedback on the quality of application. And it's like, how many of the applications are converting into interviews? That's the metric that we're getting from, I think it's a handful. So that's a good thing. Peter, any closing words? And then I've heard that Alex is on his way to a beer hall or something, because he's in Munich. And so where else would you go towards the end of the afternoon?
Well, he said he was not feeling well this morning, so I think he's laying low. Didn't even go into his office.
I've heard that a pint solves all your woes.
Oh, fair enough. And you would know that firsthand, I'm quite certain. On that note, guys, we should wrap up. From Minneapolis on the upper left, from Munich in the bottom, and from the beautiful Richardson Hotel in Buffalo, New York, the dreary, cold place with a spectacular hotel. We wish you a good week, and we'll talk to you. We got one next week, too.
Yeah.
So thanks all.
Alex, thank you for jumping on with us. Cheers all.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care.